So I always like to show before and after of our lovely. This was one of our lovely models in Orlando.
That is stunning.
With tones, I love Aloxxi. Out of the entire brand, tones is my favorite. I dare anybody to tell me there's a demi color that
Looks like that.
Metafoam seed oil. You're conditioning the hair. You're getting the deposit from the color. When we rinse and emulsify, we then are not shampooing that color out of the outer cortex. You're going to use Color Lock. It's a cream cleanser. Cleanses the hair, closes the cuticle, neutralizes any residual oxidation in the hair whatsoever, and you're done. You don't even have to post-condition. Cool?
I know.
So with tones, so if you'll look at your paper swatches, look at the 6N that's on the far left side. Okay? Do you see where it says tones on that tab?
Yeah.
Anywhere you see that on any of those colors, that means we have that available in that shade in our demi. Now here's the cool thing about you guys being studio operators is the fact that you have 50 shades. You can mix them
Right.
to get the in-betweens.
Yep.
You have the clear to lighten them.
That's right.
So you're not going to have to stock
Right.
202-ounce bottles.
Right.
Okay? So
Even though that's what I want to do because I can't, it's hard for me because for 30 years I worked at a salon that we had every single color.
right. Right.
And you can do whatever
I
you
know.
want.
Yeah.
But he's just saying he's
Yeah.
giving you the
Melanie,
option to
that
do
doesn't mean we're not going to let you buy 200
Right,
drinks of
exactly.
color.
I know.
You can buy 200.
We won't say
I'm
no.
being clear on the information.
Yes,
Like,
and this is why
I know,
I want
that's
to
what I
go
wanna
to
do.
Aloxxi and get the full system and get rid of the mishmash.
Right.
I don't
Right.
wanna
Well,
be
yeah, because
dealing
there are
with-
colors you never use.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I just want to stick with one brand.
If you take
Yeah.
this,
Exactly.
now just take this, and I want you to open it up just like that. Just open it up. Okay, so just below there is your mixing for chroma and tones.
Okay.
So everything you need to know about those two brands to be able to use them is right there.
Everything you need to know about everything in the Aloxxi is
There
on
is
the
right
chart.
is
Right
in this
there.
paper.
Perfect. Yeah.
Guess what? The color wheel, shocking as it may seem, it's the
I
same.
know. Exactly.
It's a physical law. It's just like gravity. It's not going to go anywhere. But what that will tell you is it will tell you where our colors are placed on the color wheel. Cool?
Okay.
So, those are the two key brands we're going to start with. As I'm applying and I'm working my way through her hair after we formulated, we could talk about lighteners, we can talk about dimensions, we can
Right.
talk about those other items. But I think your bread and butter is your chroma, your tones, and your lighteners. So if there's three brands when you leave here today, I want to make sure that you're absolutely solid on.
Yeah.
It's those three right there because those are your money makers.
Yes.
Cool?
Well, you have to have tones. Just because.
Oh. The
You know.
first time you used tones, I heard angels singing.
Yeah.
I did. I heard angels singing. And when I felt the hair after, and I wasn't even working with Aloxxi yet. I was still with
Okay.
Schwarzkopf. I knew I was going to
Yeah.
and I was looking, and when I used the tones, I'm like, oh my gosh. Because we'd go into Aloxxi salons, and they're like, we're not trading out. I'm like, well, no. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's because you really see the benefit of it. Okay? So now let's formulate. So our end result, okay? Our end result, I'm going to say, is going to be a deep 9NT. We're somewhere in between here, correct? So we're going to do a mixture of 9NT, 8NT as far as our base color. And then for the mid-length and the ends, we're going to develop this, and then we're going to let it develop, and then we're going to formulate for the mid-length and the ends with our tones. Okay? But first, let's focus on this. So our formulation at the new growth is going to be equal portions of 9NT, 8NT, and 9N.
So what if somebody's gray is really hard to cover? Do you?
So with your options, you can go, our mixing ratio for chroma is 1 to 1.5.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, it is. So if their hair is a little bit resistant, you can go 1-to-1.
Okay.
Okay? Or you can go to your NN series.
Do you ever use 20 volume or do you?
I use 20 volume when I want that one level of lift.
Okay.
Okay? But for this situation right now, we're going to roll with 10 in the front and then in the back. Let's look. So first, let's get a good
I have a question.
idea. Please.
With using the 10 volume, does it fade out faster because it's a 10?
No.
Okay.
Not because it's a 10, but because of the sun.
Right.
And where you're going to see most of your fading is
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Right.
I'm out in the
Okay.
sun, yeah.
Oh, I know. When I
Um,
moved down here, I had to talk about hair differently.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Okay.
you know.
And we'll tilt your head forward.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get a good idea of where her natural level is in the back. So we have a couple of things here. We're just going to take a look.
Hard to tell.
Do what?
It's hard to tell
She truly
because she's
is.
truly
I got a
Very-
lot of white.
mixed.
She is. Come on up. When you look at that.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard to tell. Oh, of course, it's just next to white color, so it's darker. How dark was your hair before it started burning?
Very dark. I would
Mine.
say I was probably 4 or 5, something like that. I'm guessing. It's been a long time since I
Yeah.
saw.
It looks
Oh,
like
my
more like a 3 to me.
I know it's pretty
If you
Really?
could take, if you
Yeah.
could take
Is
the
it?
blonde out and just look at
I'm
the color.
guessing. Yeah, like I said, I'm guessing it. It's when I see pictures of my childhood.
Right, you're like,
I almost look. It almost looks black to me in the pictures, but yeah, don't go by what I'm trying to figure it out because
It's just very mixed, and it's hard to tell.
And this is such an important step because if you don't get
Yes.
that right, then you're not
Exactly.
going to end up with the right results.
that's right.
Maybe not quite that dark, but she's definitely dark.
She's a 5.
There's just down here. Yeah, she's a 5.
She's a 5. Okay. All right, so she's a 5.
I disagree.
She's
who
pretty
am I?
dark, but it's like it's just so, it's really because it's so hard. She's so mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go with the.
Okay,
your
so
gut.
so now we have a choice to make. Do we A, and it's something that we as colorists and hairdressers face every single day. Do we want to do color compensation in the back? Do we want to lift that dark and create all that warmth? Because at her percentage of gray, we can actually just use that dark
Yeah.
as some dimension.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we want to do deposit all over? Because I'm also thinking as that grows out, it would be better if we shift that a little bit, maybe with our 10 volume, and use that as dimension so
Yeah.
she's not dealing with all that gold.
Well, because I think people really do want dimension in their hair color.
Yeah.
And
that's-
she definitely does.
I do.
That's
I don't
because
mind-
after we do her base color,
Yeah.
then we're going to play with maybe some low lights, maybe a couple of panel, maybe
Right.
a couple of veils.
I
and-
love this guy.
yeah, maybe we'll do a couple of
Some I
veils,
would
and,
love
and
it.
we're definitely going to do maybe just a couple of little pastel pieces. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So I think our decision's made. 9N, 9NT, 8NT, equal portions, 10 volume, all over the head at the new growth. And then what I'm going to do is when I bring it up, I'm not going to do a dead line. Is I'm just going to kind of just feather it,
Yep.
into this a little bit. So when we do the color refreshing, I'm kind of going to win it.
Yeah.
Just so there's a little bit more of a blend. Cool?
Yeah.
Melanie, do you want to mix for me? Do you want to mix? I'll let you mix the tones. How would that be?
Okay.
All right. So Miss Melanie, step up, baby.
I'm gonna
Put you to
set
work.
those there for right now.
Okay. So her color is in there. And we're going to be working. Look at that.
I know.
And the tones are.
I'm just saying, we do a
underneath.
serious trade-off. So, you don't have any 9NT in chroma,
Oh,
but no big hoo-ha. So do what, we're going to do what colors. So she actually said, so what are we going to do? Mix more 9N? Perfect.
okay.
So we're going to do 2 parts of 9N to 1 part of 8NT.
Okay.
Okay?
I wonder why I didn't get that shade. I don't know. We were just like.
It's hard. I would think it was hard.
It was hard. He was here for a while. We're trying to figure
I'm
out
like,
what
oh
I
my
should
gosh.
have.
Okay?
Okay, so how do you?
So we're going to do grammage, of course.
Okay.
And let's do, she has quite a bit of new growth. So let's do,
If you open this, I use this to squeeze the tubes.
and I have an Aloxxi tube squeezer, but
Oh, okay.
I don't think you're using a different tube squeezer.
Yes.
So,
You guys use whatever
Should
you
I,
want.
should I
Let's
edit
do-
that part out of the video?
I know.
yeah, definitely. Edit that. So let's do 40 grams of this. I'm going to need a good bit of color.
I do like old Wells canisters. Just saying.
She sounds stuck.
Definitely have to edit that out.
Yeah.
And, okay, so then now we're going to do 20 grams of our 8NT. By the way, have you seen the new tube design?
No, I haven't.
20 grams.
What's the new design?
It's the chroma, it's different, it's got the color burst.
Oh, okay.
So the tubes are not so medicinal looking.
Right,
So
right.
you said
Oh.
20.
Yes. So go up to 60. And we're going to do a 1-to-1 mixing ratio with 10 volume.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'm so excited. Yeah, all my clients are like, are you getting a cut too? I was like, I don't know if it does that.
Yeah, I do that too.
I said, he's here to teach the
Yeah,
colors,
we
so
do.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And that way you can just put them back in the thing like that, and it's
I
easier.
like my length, but I'll take. I
See,
know it
here's
needs
the
it.
old tubes.
I know it needs it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The new tubes are much prettier. And it's the same formula. People are like, hey, you changed your formula. No, we haven't. Okay, so half of 60 is 30. 60 plus 30 is 90. So we're going to put 90 grams of 10 volume in there.
Do you understand that, Deborah? How you did that?
It's 1 to 1.5.
Okay.
So to keep it simple, if you're mixing up, if you got 20 grams of cream color in the bowl, half of 20 is 10.
10. Mhm.
20 plus 10 is 30.
30, yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And that way, if you only need a little bit of color,
I thought you were doing equal with that one.
no, we're going to do 1 to 1.5
No?
with you.
Okay. Yeah, those are brand new.
Well, one thing I'll say this about Salon Center, if I've had stuff shipped all the time,
Yeah,
I've never had an issue.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 90.
90. Okay, so you do 1 to 1.5. So if you run out of color and you only got a little spot to do,
Yeah.
you can mix up 8 grams of color. Half of 8 is 4.
4, maybe 12. Yeah. All right.
And that way you're not wasting.
I know. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. When you're buying it yourself.
Roger, we're not supposed to teach economy.
Use lots of it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to mix? Do you want to mix that
Sure.
so you can feel the consistency?
Oh, one of the girls that I worked with, she used this color.
I've used Aloxxi, but like I said, I know it was very little.
We've
that
come a
I've used.
long way. I know in the 5 years I've been with them. Just in
Actually, one of my clients the other day, she's like, you know, my other colorist used to use this little beater thing to mix the color.
our social media presence is increased 532%.
When am I going to get to go to the studio?
Dude, I thought you were good. Well, you're not a sales manager though, right? When do you want to come?
I'm as good or better than a sales manager.
You're the top.
I'm the top dog.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I think it's mixed enough.